Okay, welcome back. I am going to basically build this transmission back up. I kind of cleaned it and I'll probably touch it up a little bit more. I'm comfortable with the inside. I've cleaned all of the threads and I am going to work on rebuilding it. Everything looks pretty good. I'm going to tidy up probably a little bit more, but it's shocking how I guess it turned out kind of good. So I guess the countershaft is the first thing I need to install. And I'm doing it on this tray because I need to make sure I don't lose the bearings. So it is, and generally speaking, it gets slid in like this, and it gets rolled over like this, and then I have this in the freezer, and this is going to get installed. So I'm going to have the bearing on here, and I'm going to put the bearing in. So that is the game plan. I'm hoping it works, but we will figure it out. Okay, so I am going to need to use bearing grease, so that's why I've got the gloves on. So it is, I'm going to basically lube up the inside first to just to make it easier to go in. And so the first is I'm going to load this up with grease, and I'm probably going to have to take this glove off. And these bearings just get placed in here like this, which is insane, but it is what it is. And I'm going to make sure that they are totally coated with grease and stay. Let me get a chair here. This is the one thing I don't like, actually. And it just doesn't make sense. And it definitely doesn't make sense. So I'm using this sticky grease. Once I get them all in, I'm going to really coat them heavily so they don't budge. And then I have bearings on the other side that I need to install. And It's less fussy. So, slather on grease here. Let me get some. And let me get the counter shaft. I'm going to lube this up as well. So now I'm going to gently oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe that. I've got another bearing here. This is my bearing race driver. All right, it actually went in. So I have the bearing in and I dropped in this gear and I just need to tap it in a little bit. It's going in easily actually. Oh my God, it rolls so smoothly too. So the next is putting in the main shaft. Goes in like this, and I got to tap it in a little bit, and then the slider. So let me tap this in a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to use a rubber mallet. So it is in. The sliding gear. So let me get the sliding gear. Hold on one second. Okay, I have another sliding gear. It looks like it's actually in pretty good condition. And let's see how it slides on. Okay, I got it on, and It is not easy. There's a particular sequence. This actually kind of goes on last, and I had it on first. And it is you insert this in. Right now it's in third gear. Here is second gear, and here is first gear. So you first you have to I have to drive in the bearing too. You basically have to tilt this out of the way of this to the side to get this sliding gear off. So it works very well. And I next need to drive on the bearing, and I'm going to put the dust shield on here as well. So here is the bearing that gets driven over that, and I'm going to heat it up for a second, and I'm going to go get that dust shield, so stand by. So here's the dust shield I'm going to put on. I don't know why I grabbed that. But put that on there, and I normally would do this in a vise, but I'm going to do it here. But let me heat this bearing up. And I think it's going to go on easily. So so let me heat that thing up for a little bit. So let's see how this works. It's too big. I don't even need to really drive it. I just got to drive it a little bit more, actually. Looks good. And that gets driven in, and we then install this collar. So this will screw into the case. So it's already threaded in.
Next is putting in a slider. So I've cleaned all the parts up. So let me lube this up. Okay. There's that. And there is a, basically it's like a lock bolt. Oops. Next up is it is in. Next up is the locking ring, and this is reverse thread. That looks good. Next up is let's do the starter. I need to put a little bit of grease on it. Okay, let's see if the kicker is going to work. We are going to see if the kicker works. It's a Zot. Okay, let's see if that works. And I'm going to say probably yes. Next up is the cover. And let's see. So now I just need to tap it. Right. So I guess that's all I'm gonna do at this point. I'm not gonna put the clutch basket on now because it's. I guess well, I don't think there's a need to right now, but everything looks good. So I'm gonna put this on the shelf and it will be ready when I do the next part. So here is the transmission that is going on. So it is going to this one's ready to go. So stand by. I don't have the spokes yet, so I'm going to clean this up and start putting things away. And I did get the parts for the front wheel, so I'm going to take the front wheel off and continue putting the parts on that. I'm not going to install the transmission on this because I want the rear tire on first. So I'll put the clutch basket on and I'll get the clutch set up on this because, well, stand by. Let me show you how that looks. Okay, so I've parkerized the parts and they have turned out spectacular, really. And they, here is, I think this is the second clutch basket I did, or clutch hub. Here is the first one. I did this one on camera, and they're almost indistinguishable. They look fantastic, actually. So that's probably what I'll put on next. It is. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on next because it is. I got to put it on anyway, so it looks great. So this is gonna pop onto here, and this will go on top of here, and it is going to look great, actually. So stay tuned. I need to take the clutch plates off of this and put them on this one I just parkerized. And it's slightly a pain in the bottom, but it's not that hard. You have to you need a vise and a clamp though. So so stay tuned. It is we will get going. Okay, thank you.